Good morning and welcome to my Unmasking the Horror Tour day. I'm very excited. I've been really looking forward to this. This is one of the things that I've never done before, and I've wanted to do it for years. And this year I was like, I'm doing it. This is the year. So I'm really excited. I'm doing this six-house tour. I believe the tour has Universal Monsters, which I bought the t-shirt yesterday and of course wear today. I think it's Blumhouse, which I'm quite excited about because I saw it last night for the first time and I was really, really impressed with it. Like I'd like to do it again tonight. Bughouse, which is great because I went through Bughouse technically, but I saw nothing because I was terrified. So I'm excited to see it in the daylight today and maybe go through it tonight, like for real. We'll see. Apparently there's a spider room that I don't even know if I'm going to be able to stand in for long when we do this tour. I think I also have on this tour Descendants of Destruction and Monsters. I said Monsters. Whatever. I'll let you know as we go along. So basically, as probably you all know, you can't record in the houses, but you can take photos. So I'll be doing like voiceovers and stuff like that of like the photos that I can take. Yeah, I'm just really excited. I'm quite early, but like I think it's better to say there you are than where are you. So I'm ready. I've got my venti Starbucks. I've got my knee brace on today because we had a little bit of a wobble last night. So I was like, rah, 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 rah. So hopefully everything will be fine tonight, but we'll see how it goes. I've got water in my trousers. Got stuff down there. My walking shoes on. Oh, and I did do my nails. I got my nails done. So these are my like little press-ons that I did for tonight. So, because I want to like take pictures of my nails in in the houses. Like I want to take pictures of my monster nails with the monster houses. Anyway, we're going to go to the tour. Free button. This is what they're using this year. They got a headpiece and a voice box thingy. I just never know. I'm so glad I didn't buy a lanyard yet. Yay! Okay, everybody, buckle up because it's now January and I don't know how much of all this stuff I'm going to remember. I do remember that this is the freaky house, the freaky part of the house in the Horrors of Blumhouse. This is a mannequin with a glass shoved down its throat, which apparently was a pivotal point in the movie. Here are some photos with some pictures. A lot of this stuff is stuff that was used before in other houses and has some meaning or other behind it, and a lot of it I've forgotten. This person is someone. There you go. Anyway, this is a mannequin of a scene in the movie where the serial killer, when she's the girl, rams the professor over the circular saw, which God knows why they have one in a school. I don't know. But anyway, it was pretty cool. Like when she pulled the mannequin away, it like went back together, and then when she shoved it through, it like went apart. It was pretty cool. There's some paint cans. There's the mannequin again because that was probably the most impressive thing in this part of the house. This is him taking the mannequin out of the circular saw. And there is that again. And then we move on to the notice board. Here we go. Um, I'm sure there's some sort of fun fact about everything written up here, but I can't remember it. Oh, and here is the cryo chamber, I think, from the film. Then we moved on to the Black Phone, which I love this. I love the walkthrough of this part of the house. I thought it was so scary. And really walking through it during the day, it just looks exactly like the movie. Like it's real cool. And that's styrofoam. I do remember that. That's what those eggs are made out of. Look, they even put the vent in. Like, who would notice that? That's why I love the story. You just get to see all these things. There's some stairs. There was some sort of fact about stairs. They will never have stairs that you would go up in Horror Nights house because obviously it's not accessible, but it's also just like really expensive apparently to like put stairs in. There's a boo hole. There you go. There's the phone again. The phone appeared a lot in this house, as you can remember. Um, yeah, this was a mannequin in Orlando, but it wasn't a mannequin in Hollywood, and I did not like standing in front of him because this scene terrified me. Also, the stove behind him is from Tampa. Our tour guide couldn't figure out why he knew that, but that apparently is one of the facts he was told to say. Anyway, here's Bughouse. This was the most I'd seen of it because I hadn't gone through the house during the nighttime. This is great. The scare actor at the start of this had a rolling scare, so she literally never stopped. So that was quite impressive to hear because, like, fair play to her. I don't know if I could do that. Um, I really liked all this stuff. It's just really well decorated. Like they made up this whole like exterminator thing for it. That was like the whole point was like they were trying to advertise this exterminating thing, and then obviously it all went terribly wrong. These are ants. Um, yeah, this was the ant room, I believe. So there was like an ant room. There was definitely a spider room. There was like another kind of bug room. And yeah, there's more ants. it's great to see kind of like this stuff like during the day because you can really see like all the detail they put into it. Like look, there's like a window. Like who need? Oh, there's a xenomorph. There you go. Prop from an old house. Shout out to Alien. There is a questionable scene of a giant cockroach on top of a man. And here's some cakes and some bugs in the wall. I was kind of okay through all this stuff because cockroaches and stuff I'm actually kind of fine with. So this was okay. And it's definitely still though jarring during the day, like seeing all the little bugs like all over the wall and stuff like that. Like it's definitely not nice. But at this point, I was still like, I was doing okay. Because I was like, they're just ants. It's all good. So here's where my problem started. I stood in that door. Oh God, even looking at it now, I'm like, no thanks. I stood in this doorway for ages. Like he was talking, and I was like, no, is that all the footage I took of that part? That's so funny. That doesn't surprise me at all. Um, there's centipedes in here, and like, look at the egg. I know they just look like ping pong balls, but I can't deal with it. And the big spider and the little spiders, I just don't like it at all. Yeah, this was why I wasn't gonna open my eyes during the full run through because I just can't. Oh, and I know it's like, oh, it's comical. They're only funny things, but like, I just can't. Spiders, no. And that's pretty cool though, with the legs kind of coming out like that. That's awesome. Sorry, my puppy is wiggling around on my lap here. And there's a grotesque kind of dismembered face of a person. Here is, I don't know what that is. The xenomorph. Hooray! Look at him. Look at his little face. He's cute. Oh yeah, there was like a. Oh no. Okay, sorry. That the people who don't like the holes. I'm sorry. I forgot about that. Then we went into Descendants of Destruction. Fun story. They cannot tell you that this is based on New York. I don't know why. The tour guide didn't know why either. He didn't even say New York. He was like, "This is based on a well-known American city that I cannot tell you what it's called." And he was like, "And I don't know why I can't tell you." The story, so in the train there was like a whole load of like graphic design images that are like, one of them is like based on like Epic Universe, and there's another one that's like that's from the plant house that they did 2 years ago or whatever. Anyway, he also said that this is the cousin of the plant house. It's not a direct sequel. I think it's supposed to be like happening at the same time. Anyway, in the train there's also like there's I don't know what that is. There's also like a storyline going through it that there's a woman supposed to be the remnants of like a woman living in there with her baby, and like you're supposed to kind of think that she ate her baby, which I was like, oh, I was like, well, Universal really went there. But I think, hang on. Oh yeah, so the one on the left there is Lightning Gulch. That's the bear that supposedly belonged to the child that the mom ate. That is for that might be for Epic Universe, I think. Yeah. And then there's just some stuff like, they just put all these details, these tiny, tiny little details that people during the day would never see. And it just always amazed me. That's the remnants, I think, of the mum. And yeah, there's some trash. Which is I can't remember. One of these is there. Yeah, there's a skeleton. Can you believe they just built a bunch of trains in here? Like, I can never get over that. And look at how good. Like, look, this just looks like a train station. I always think it's amazing. And there's Curious George. Hooray! Although the tour guide didn't spot him, I was like, but we like Curious George, right? And there is the train
Okay,
again.
so we're just taking a little break. We've done three houses so far. We've done Blum House, Bug House, and Descendants of Destruction. Well, you should have seen pictures by now. I hope they turned out okay. I'm switching between flash and night mode, and then sometimes like you're kind of walking through and like there's people in the way, and then you wait to try and take photos, then everybody's gone out of you, and you're like, ooh. So hopefully this will work okay. Really, really enjoying myself so far. It's really, really cool. I'm really glad I did this for Bug House because House was a little bit. Yeah, no, I don't think I need to do that during the night. But that was enough. That spider room, I didn't walk into it for ages. I just stood at the door and talked, and I was like, yeah, I don't even know you. Yeah, I think we're doing one more house, and then I think we might be doing monsters. I'm so excited. I'm wearing my monster t-shirt today. I'm very excited. And then we're getting lunch, so I'll tell you more stuff then. Okay, here's the big statue at the start of Monster's house, which is incredibly impressive. It is like just as impressive during the day as it is at night. I still can never get over it that they build all these things. Anyways, this is the whole outside. Obviously, this house is based in Egypt. Here are some hieroglyphics. If anyone can understand them, feel free to write that in the comments. Oh, this
is not an actor. Yeah, this is the thing, but his arm will move sometimes. But apparently it was like happening very infrequently through the entire time. So I don't know. There was a scare in here. I went through this house like a good few times, and it really annoyed me that I like never got this scare. But there was like these guys here, one of them is missing, and there's supposed to be a scare actor there to pretend to be a statue. And literally every time I went in there, there was just a gap. So that really annoyed me because I was like, I knew that was supposed to be a scare. Um, Here's a lot of mummies. There was some big feet back there. You know, there you go, lots of big feet. Here's some more hieroglyphics. And this is me just really showing you all of the details and stuff that you wouldn't normally get to see during the night. And see, look, it just looks amazing. Like someone went in here and really drew all this. And then, oh, bonus, there's my nails. I don't think that's supposed to be in there. Uh, hope you like them. I went and took pictures outside the Dead Coconut Club, and then I had lunch. Okay, cool.
Okay, so we're on a lunch break. You come out to City Walk for your lunch break. You don't, unless you have a park ticket to go back into the park, which I only have one from 3 p.m. I got Moe's. I've never gotten Moe's before. I got tacos, that are the hard shell tacos because they're gluten free, and then you get tortilla chips. Oh, my umbrella's fixed here. And I got lemonade. So far, we've done 4 houses. I am really enjoying the tour. Like, I definitely will be doing this every year if I can. And I will definitely be doing the 6 house and 3 house tour next year. Um, I had so interesting little sort of tidbit that I kind of picked up from the tour guide. He was very, very informative. Like he's telling all kind of fun little stories and stuff. But one of the things that someone mentioned, like I don't know, IPs or something, and we were talking about that. But I actually asked at one point. I was like, oh, so he was talking about like backup houses, and I was like, oh, so is it? Would it be the case that every IP house that you guys have has a potential backup already in place? And he said yes, and I thought that was interesting. So I feel like with, for example, Hell Block Horror this year, which I am doing next after this, even though it was allegedly shoehorned in, it was like a planned shoehorn. So I think that's kind of interesting to kind of think about. I'm going to eat my lunch now because I only have, I think, about half an hour to get back to the park. I want to eat this, and I want to get a Starbucks as well because I'm tired, and we are going to Horror Nights tonight, like straight up. Like, just literally as soon as the tour is over, I'm just staying in the park, and like we're doing some rides, I think, and then we're gonna like do it all over again. Um, so yeah, really, really enjoying it so far.
And here it is, the infamous Hellblock Horror. Now, I would like to say, first of all, they made up all these languages for all the different types of monsters that are in the prison. That like shook me. I was like, what? While you're seeing all this blood and all of this, look, isn't that cool? That's all the different languages, and like it's translated into each one. Like, and they're like one of the languages for like the beasts, one of them is for the aliens, and I guessed that one. He was, oh yeah, there's a mouth brooder, just a dead mouth brooder if anyone cares. But I guessed the crop circle one. I was like, so like my crop circles, that's the alien one. He was like, yes, and I was like, anytime I answered a question right in here, I like felt real smug. I was like, yeah, I know all about her. Anyway, I would like to say that I'm even more impressed by Hellblock Horror now because they did not just shoehorn something in here. They got rid of the IP house that was in here and got cut, which was confirmed by someone. They got rid of everything. They demolished the whole thing and rebuilt it to be this in 3 weeks. Our tour guide also told us that every house, because I asked, I was like, does every house, IP house, have a backup, have an original backup every year? And he was like, yes, every IP house has a backup. This guy has a fence in front of him because apparently one time his head flew off and hit a customer. I thought that was very interesting. So he will always have a fence in front of him now. Here's some more blood. But there's more facts about Hellblock that I want to say, but this is going too fast. That was in the Viking scare zone from 2 years ago. Oh yeah, and this was either the swamp yeti or the yeti from the snowy one. Um, but he would like crawl out, and I think then he would stand up. But yeah, that confirmed. And there is a very bad picture of the vampires from the hive. And they glow in the dark. Oh yes. Okay, here we're going on to Dead Man's Pier. This looked unreal during the day. For some reason, I don't know. I felt like we did this house so much, and by the time I got in here during the day, I felt like I already lived here. It was kind of weird. Please pause to read because I'm not going to do that. Um, but yeah, here's like just all like the snowy stuff that they did, and they built all these houses, and they put all this effort into the story. Oh yes, fun fact. So I went ahead and listened to the Universal podcast deliberately to try and get the stories of the houses before I went to the event. Turns out the story that this house was initially based on, which was read over the Universal podcast, was not the story that was actually running through the house. It was actually the girl playing the violin story. That has actually is not the story from this. It's just like the
fisherman that you see behind the bar at the start is like the husband of the ghost lady that you see at the end, and the whole story is like that they never see each other because they're drifting through whatever. Oh, Back to the Future jacket, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And that's someone's dog. Darn it, Thunder, I think his name is. I think that dog's name is Thunder. It's all coming back to me now, guys. Here's just some more boaty stuff. Um, but yes, also here is a man in a life jacket that apparently did not need to wear a life jacket. Here is a sail and boathouse. Oh, by the way, they wouldn't let us take pictures everywhere. So this quite kind of where everything's kind of chopped up. Fun story. There was supposed to be a man in this boat and water, and it never happened. Literally before team member preview, the whole thing leaked, and they just 86 the whole thing, and that's why this area is kind of weird, where it has the effects and stuff in the water. It looks real good, but there's just a guy over the other side that like doesn't even come out and scare you. The guy in the boat was supposed to scare you, but I thought that was really interesting, and it was funny because apparently all the team members had known. Oh, Jaws had known that there was going to be water in it, and then when there wasn't anything there, they were like, "What? Here's more snow." I kept taking pictures of the snow because I was like, I just can't believe they'd like made snow for this. But look, like you can just see like how much detail even during the day you can see on all these props. Like it's just amazing. And that's where your one, the ghost lady, stood at the end. And there is someone who unfortunately is missing some of his body. Yeah, and this was the last picture I could take from this house.
Okay, we just finished the tour. I 100,000,000% recommend that you do an Unmasking horror tour at some point at some event. It was fantastic. It was like, if you're a nerd like me for horror nights, like there is information that like I don't get from all the YouTube videos I watch, on podcasts I watch. Like the tour guide we had was amazing. He like had so many little facts and everything to tell us, and it was just so good. And so with a few things, Hellblock Horror. First of all, Hellblock Horror. So you know the way everyone's like, oh, it was shoehorned in. It was an IP, blah blah blah. It turns out that's true. Obviously, they didn't mention the IP because they do want to use it at some point in the future. They did say that, but that house was completely demolished and rebuilt as Hellblock Horror in 3 weeks. And now I can't wait to go through it again because I was shook. And like if my little voiceover has gone accordingly, like you will see all the little details that like they put in, and like I know now that like every IP has a backup, but like the fact that they completely demolished it and rebuilt an entire house in 3 weeks, which by the way, there are only 5 like art designers for horror nights, like at all. Like the people, they're like the set designers, they're like the, I don't know what they call it, but the people that go in and they do everything. Like I just couldn't get over it. Then the other thing is the Chupacabra puppets. The 5 puppets that are in there, not including when they've needed to be replaced or fixed, cost $50,000. Can you imagine how much this event actually costs? Like, I'm starting to think that there's a reason why the express passes are so expensive. And then, another thing I want to mention, because I feel like when I'm doing the voiceover, I'll forget a lot of this. The fisherman, Dead Man's Wharf house, Dead Man's Pier house. That house is, it's like honouring people who have passed. And one of the people that passed this year was Rick Spencer, and they did a tribute to him, with the writing his name on the boat. But I kind of think that whole house was like a tribute to him, which was really, really nice. And it kind of, knowing that as well, I can't wait to go back in, because when I went in the first time especially, I was like, oh, it's not really scary, and yeah, it's beautiful, but like, but now I'm like, get it? I also want to say that like, if you're going to do a tour, definitely have at least 2 runs of the houses before you go and do a tour, because like, I definitely wouldn't, apart from bugs, which I now know I don't want to do anyway, I wouldn't have liked to have done that early on in the event or early in my trip, because it would have spoiled a lot of things, and a lot of things that you don't get until you've gone to the house the way it was meant to be gone through first. So I think that's important. That was just all. I wanted to say the other things. I can't remember. You know, hopefully, might do another bit at the end of this at some point. Just had such a good time. Really recommend it. Like everybody, next year I'm going to do both the 6 house and the 3 house tour for sure. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for Will. He's coming into the park soon. I'm just going to chill out for a while because my feet are killing me and we have a whole night of horror nights ahead of us. I don't know if I'll film anything there. I think we're going to end this video here, but I really hope that this, first of all, I really hope this video turned out okay. And I really hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, happy Halloween.